Welcome back to another week on Hit the Gap. And what a gap there is between some of the teams on the ladder now and some of the margins, or score lines rather, of round 22. The round just been a record broken really, or set for the NRL era, and a few more injuries to come out of this round, unfortunately.
Probably a record heartbreak, that's for sure.
Yeah.
For anyone who's a Cows fan like us.
Yep.
So
we will kick off with that one, seeing as it's the start of the. It was the first game of the round.
Rip the Band-Aid off.
The Cowboys up at home here, losing to the Roosters, 12 points to 82. Yep, you might be thinking we're taking the piss, and I wish we were.
I sincerely wish we were.
Yeah. Tough result, tough game, tough watch, tough everything. I don't know, there's not a whole lot. I mean, you probably could analyse it for ages, but there's not much you could get out of it useful, I think, or helpful. It just woeful, dreadful performance, especially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the thing for me really with this game is, the better team won on the day, 100%. But wow, I feel like we regularly talk about this. With the boys they drop their heads. This was that on like some sort of extreme level I've never seen.
It was like it was compounded by something. And look, I don't know, the obvious and glaring factors being up for a big win the weekend prior against the Broncos. There, it was a big game, tough game, and having that 5-day turnaround, which again, we've said this all week. People love to jump on it and shit on you for bringing it up. It is a matter of fact that it does take its toll, the 5-day turnaround, especially after a big game. But
3 big games in a row, really.
But yes, either way, it's not an excuse for the scoreline. Maybe below average performance or a not so great performance, but that's beyond.
It's nothing.
Beyond question. So yeah, again, contributing factor for sure, considerable contributing factor, but yeah, there was definitely felt like there was something else at play, compounding the old just heads down mentality, or just sort of we're too far gone. Because I mean, it wasn't that bad until maybe 20 minutes in, halfway through the first half, maybe even half an hour, and the first it started to really.
I'd say half an hour, because the first 20 minutes, the first 20 minutes of this game, it was like
competition.
It was tit for tat
to a point, yeah.
And it wasn't like there was some sort of blown out lead or anything like that. But 30 minutes on, they just gave up. They're like, fuck this game.
Almost like it was too far out of reach at that point.
Yeah, and they just sort of just let it go completely, and it was like try every set sort of stuff, and
and
it wasn't even like they were like some of the tries were just dreadful to see. The try to Fouquetti, the try to Toya, obviously the mark try. Which one?
Probably the most disappointing one. His last one, I think, was when he strolled over from 10 meters out
with five people hanging off him.
5 people had made contact, and I think 4 were all still hanging on to him when he was crossing the line.
It was like watching under 8s, man.
He left them all in his wake.
Yeah, it was a very, very odd game to see. I'm sort of glad that I stayed home for it. That's for sure.
Yeah, I do feel bad. I mean, I feel bad for the boys to a point where you go out and nothing you do is helping. But I feel bad for the fans, because Thursday night games, it's not as bad up here, I would say, as it is down south. Sydney,
a major city,
etc. Trying to get home and get there after work and get home for work tomorrow, sort of thing. But attendance is always down on Thursday games, I think, and for the people that did turn out, unfortunately, it was a shocker.
And the attendance after half time, let me tell you, was very down.
Even worse.
Holy.
Yeah. It one of them ones, I think. Yeah, if you could relate it to anything recent, maybe closest would possibly be the Dolphins a couple of weeks ago. That was 60 points to 0, but even
or us and the Tigers last year.
Yeah, last year or the year before.
76 point win.
Yeah.
2025.
Yep. Yeah. It just, I don't know. You write it off and you move on.
Actually, you can't even draw that comparison because we're talking about a team that was punching down on a team that was wooden spooning.
Yeah.
And this is like a team threatening the top 8 versus a team that's maybe potentially threatening premiership. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not even in the same category, really. Like,
yeah.
At least if you're beaten down on the wooden spoon, yeah, you've probably got a bit more of an excuse to give up 70 points. But 80 points is just
rough.
Yeah, it's inexcusable.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Yeah, rough one. Unfortunately for the boys. Not to take away from the Roosters. The Roosters did have a good game.
Oh, they were incredible,
and
they really were.
Yeah, it almost sounds backhanded saying we made them look good because we didn't make them look good. We made them look better. It's probably the way to put that. It was like 10-year-olds taking on a first grade squad. So really, once they worked that out, it was a bit of park footy, and they could play around and have fun with it.
Oh yeah, they just started slamming on points, but just the most like they were just being
ridiculous.
as razzle dazzle as possible.
Yeah, ridiculous plays. Yeah. Yeah, I think hopefully it's not. I mean, I don't know how you do it, but hopefully they went into the sheds after this one, have gone into training this week. Maybe not focused on too many points critically, but just got back into training, done some hard reps, trying to move on with it. Because tonight will be the big turning point, hopefully. And if they don't sort of put up a decent effort like they would normally. Yeah, it's probably last week was probably pretty telling of where the season's going or how it's ending for the Cowboys.
And you know what?
Unfortunately,
I like all of that, but the one thing I do hope that they did manage to do this week is actually find some fucking rest. The short turnaround. I mean, I've always been incredibly critical of short turnarounds. I think they're cruel. I think Thursday night and Monday night games shouldn't actually be a thing in the first place. Especially when there's so much time uncovered in Saturday and Sunday schedule anyway. But that on top of, 3 big emotional wins, especially the Broncos one, obviously. I hope they found some time to get some extra rest before they rip back into training, because I think that probably plays a really big part in what we saw.
Yeah. Yeah, just enough to reset and be ready.
I mean, they were gassed in 20 minutes, man. Like that. Yeah, they needed some rest, I think.
Yep. That was Thursday, so we'll jump on to Friday, the rest of the round here. This one being a bit closer of a result, though. Dragons probably on the wrong end of one or two calls once again, unfortunately. I don't know how you... as a Dragons fan, how you get on with it, because you're enjoying seeing your team with fight, albeit 20 rounds too late maybe, but Finn's narrowly getting away with the win. 6 point deficit in this one. Really, there was nothing in it. I don't know.
I mean, in my eyes, Finns were beaten in this game.
Finn's looking better with Katoa, obviously late in. He came back in and was playing, but yeah, not as dangerous as they did early on in the year is probably how I'd put it. I mean, he has been out for a little while, so it might just take him a bit to warm back up and everything to sort of fall back into place again. But yeah, I don't know. I can't discount the Dragons anymore. Each week, I'm now having to really
They're starting
consider.
to find the puzzle pieces, I think.
Yeah. Because there's nothing to lose, really, almost. They know who's leaving. They know what's changing next year. They've probably found, you're right, they've probably found a bit of a confidence in a game plan they can move on with.
Absolutely. And I think when the new boys come in next year, you're going to start to add flair in, and that's where things are going to get real interesting.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, they'll get their pre-season together and whatnot, and hopefully find a bit of time to make some more combinations. But with their mainstays in the forward pack, the Couchman brothers, and they've just re-signed that Loko Pacificatonga, I think his name is, and there was someone else that they've just re-signed. They're starting to find a bit of stability there. And
they've got Cody Nikorima too, yeah?
They did, yeah. Nikorima's just signed there, so yeah, they've got a few halves. They've got a big forward and Keon coming, and also Drinky going next year as well.
Their spine is honestly looking pretty incredible. legions of it's not even in the same league as what they've currently been fielding over the last 2 years. So this is going to be awesome.
Definitely a lot more star and strike power coming next year. The second game on Friday was Storm versus the Bulldogs, and this one again, it was actually a bit more of a contest than this lets on, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Probably not till the end it really got locked in for the Dogs. But
I think people really underestimate the Wishart combo.
Yeah. Yep.
And I feel like you can really put him with anyone, and he'll excel. But the part that was so dangerous is that he's so easy to move into another spot. I think probably maybe 30 minutes into this game, we saw him move and actually start playing from the
dummy
hooker.
half. Yeah.
Yep. And I believe I'm pretty sure it was actually Tolau who started playing in the 7.
Yeah, they all sort of did like a bit of a switch.
Yeah, they all sort of switched around a little bit, and it was actually rather dynamic. I thought it was a bit of a masterstroke really from Bellamy, but unfortunately they just got a bit too slow on the cardio side of things by the end there, and the Dogs really ran away with it, especially Stephen Crichton. Crichton had a massive game this game.
Yeah, worn out a little bit, just probably signs of how the season's gone.
Yeah.
Big season for a lot of the boys. I
think they all need a bit of a teddy bear to punch.
Yeah, yeah, some sort of stress relief or something like that. But it was more of a contest than that scoreline lets on. The Dogs were not really locked in till right at the end. But like you touched on there, Critter at 6th. He's playing at 5/8 there. He just seems to be, I don't know, a relief for him at the moment. It's been a bit of a masterstroke of sorts just to steady themselves or right themselves, I think. And hey, it's paying dividends for now. So
I will say as well, I mean, the Melbourne Storm have probably the most like incredible or incredibly saddening injury what I've seen.
Yeah,
probably since 2022 Bunnies.
It is a long season for a lot of those boys that have been playing all year, even though there's not that many of them. But just probably a byproduct of all that, of the whole season, just taking its toll now in the way of fatigue. Saturday's games: Titans up against the Warriors at Cbus Super Stadium. This was my I don't know, I guess you'd call it left field because it's the Titans, but I thought Titans surely can get this done. But the Wars said, no, hang on a minute, we've got to get back into winning games here. And, dumped them on the head, unfortunately, destabilised that little solid winning run or run of form from the Titans in this one and just completely shut them down.
Everywhere too. It was all over the field.
Forwards running amok. Tamare sort of... not pulling his head in, that's the wrong way to put it, but really steadying himself and getting back to how he has been.
That left-hand side of the field for the Wars is just incredible. AKP with Leka Halasimo is dangerous. So dangerous. It's insane how great that combo is. I think we're going to see a lot more points come through that side for the rest of the year, for sure.
Yep. Worth noting too, Zane Harrison obviously doing his hemi. I think it was a hemi? Quad or hemi? Yeah,
it was hamstring, yep.
So that's throwing things up in
the air. Looked like a bit of a nasty one too. He's struggling to walk as well, big time. So
poor bugger. Yep. He's been good. He's been great for him since he's come on. He's had a decent run this year.
He's been the resurrection.
Yeah, he's been a decent, or had a decent run this year there at the 7. Between him and Ollie Pascoe, probably, Revelation is probably a great summary for it, really.
Definitely.
Just unfortunate for them. They will get Ilias back this week, though. He can step back into the 7, but, we saw that at the start of the year. I just don't think it's anywhere near as potent as the Harrison-Campbell combo. Warriors finding that bit of form again on that run into the finals to try and lock themselves down up there in the top 4. They want to get in and stay in, I think. The next Saturday game, another one rather similar. Probably thought the Raiders might have had a bit more of a chance in this one, but yeah.
This was my left fielder.
Yep, Panthers 42 points to the Raiders 18. It just, I don't know, they, again, very similar vein. They sort of went, hang on a minute, we got to lock in here, and lock in they did.
Yeah, they're the number one team for a reason, I guess. And look, I really did think that Raiders were going to have a better time here. They seem to love winning away from GIO, which is funny. But, you know, I just didn't see the same sort of flair. And look, to be fair, he was shut down a lot. But Ethan Sanders, he didn't really have the best game in this one. Strange was doing strange things. But yeah, unfortunately, the pairing just didn't go to full fruition, I think. And Nathan was very clinical. So, and I think he needed to be pretty clinical as well. He's had a few big weeks. So,
another. Like I was saying just before, just a bit of a stamp or a riding the ship. This is righto, boys. Time to lock in. Get us back.
Firm reminder for the rest of the league.
Yeah, get us back to what we can be doing. And yeah, you're right. Sanders has been good the last few weeks, and I think they've probably pinpointed that and gone, yeah, you're not flying under the radar with us here. And you're right, yeah, just shut him down. Worth mentioning too, all without Edwards. I think Edwards is still out. I can't think of his name. Edgar, yes, that's him.
Jackson Edgar
at the back there, and he's flying, filling in for him. So, look, not like for like, obviously.
Definitely not like for like. He's doing a job.
Doing a great job. Yeah,
doing a job.
Yep. And the next Saturday game we will move on to here, Broncos versus the Knights, and this one I thought the Broncos might have been their resurgence, or they might have had a little bit more in them. Again, just to hopefully turn things around, or at least just sort of stem the bleeding a bit. But no, unfortunately, I think it's all starting to come to a head, or everything. The generational run last year into the grand final, and then much like Melbourne, all the injuries and everything, the fatigue of the season's probably just taken its toll now. Rough one. The Knights 30 points over the Broncos 6.
Sorry, Bronx fans, you can't make the 8 now.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of.
At least it wasn't an 80-point loss, though.
Yeah. I was having a dig at a few of my mates that are Bronx fans that was their bit of vengeance, or their copium was the major loss, despite losing to us last week, or us ending their season pretty well. But look, I don't know. I mean, every Broncos supporter was sort of on a prayer. They were hoping. They were really hoping, but yeah, I think it just writing's on the wall there. Reece Walsh is starting to come alive, but
too little, too late.
Like he did at the end of last season, but I think they're just too far gone, unfortunately. Knights still doing well. Obviously, Dylan Brown out, the Sharp, and why is his name escaping me? Just came from Smith combo, doing well, and Ponga, if he can stay healthy, will be strong.
Can I just say, I haven't actually seen Ponga so like hungry for a win.
Yeah,
for a long, long time. I can't even remember when the last time I saw him like this. He was so keen to beat the Broncos.
Yep.
I don't know what his issue is with the Broncos, but he was even most minute things would happen, and he was up. He was up fucking he was keen.
I think this is probably in seasons gone the point where the Knights start to fade away, and then that's where either their finals chances die in front of them, or they end up only just making the 8 narrowly and then getting bumped out the first week or something. So I think Ponga's probably identified that, and that they're all just, that's it. Time to turn it up, time to lock in.
Got to say that Sharp is very quickly becoming one of my favorite players to watch as well. Fletcher Sharp is definitely going to be a very, as long as he can stay healthy. I mean, he's had some pretty crazy injuries already, but he's going to be a very, very strong player going into the next few years, I think.
Love him at fullback. I've always rated him at 6. I know that, but he's just so useful. Honestly, 6, 7, 1, incredible 5. You put him anywhere, and he showcases peak class. He's one of those sorts of players. I think when Ponga eventually takes a pay cut, I think we'll know where the rest of that money's going. So. Yeah, or where it should be going.
Definitely.
And the Sunday games we'll jump on to here, talking about a team locking in finally. Sharks taking the Rabbitohs on, so 32 points to 16 there to the Sharks from the Shire.
My question is, when will they lose?
Yeah. So I think what's Nico's kick?
25 in a row.
25 from 25.
25 in a row.
Yep. So he's going for a record.
He's chasing Hasm.
Mm-hmm.
He's still got a fair bit to go, but he's chasing.
Yep. Yeah. They're one where probably about this point is when they start to destabilise a bit, but unusually, I'll say, they seem to be doing better than they ever have at this point in the season. They're entrenched. They're entrenched up there. They've probably not got the hardest run going home. They've had their last bye, so they don't have another break, but they've probably got a decent run going home, and a good chance to go into the finals, I think, in the top four easily. You know what I mean?
Easily top four.
Rabbitohs, not without mentioning Rabbitohs in this one, a little bit underdone. I think Brandon Smith, he's always, I don't know if he's ever not carrying an injury, but I think he's hampered by something, definitely. Murray, I don't think, was Murray back for this one, or he might have just come back last week. I don't quite remember, but yeah, they were still without a few of their mainstays. Aitken laid out due to illness supposedly in this one, but yeah, they just got torn apart on the edges, unfortunately, the old bunnies. There's not much more to touch on. Sharks just unusually doing quite well.
Yeah,
it's probably good to see for Sharks fans.
They definitely took control here. Man, Trindle is having a season, eh? Trindle is seriously having a season.
I like that you brought him up there, because he's been, I wouldn't say the quiet achiever, much like Dylan Edwards, probably just not focused on solely. You know, when Nico's not there, Trindle's the man, and when Nico's there, Trindle's almost like the silent man, and the combo is just, it's just working.
Honestly, he's killing it. I think having Nico sort of sit back and just do his thing has been the biggest thing that team has needed. Tricky leading the way and just taking charge, you know. I think it's been a stellar change. It's been an apparent change, and it's been a stellar change for sure.
It reminds me a bit of 2 years ago. It was when they knocked us out of the finals. They had that combo going where they were sort of switching between who was kicking and who was running and whatnot. Whereas now it's kind of like they've probably just tweaked it and found the right ratio.
Definitely.
The ratio that works. So, yeah, it's showing dividends. You know, they're getting the wins and getting them comfortably at the moment.
I think the other thing that's really good about Trindle is he's very good at identifying weak points and weak spots.
Yeah.
Which obviously leads to the reason
Scoring
why
tries.
so many people on the edges for the Sharks seem to get points.
Yeah,
so.
Including himself. He's a
sniper.
He loves a good run in.
Yep.
And the last game of the round, West Tigers versus the Eels, and I mean, it was a poo slinger.
This was honestly one of the toughest watches of the year.
It was a comedy of errors, but in saying that, it was a better comedy of errors than
the 80-point
their
loss.
poo slingers bygone poo slingers rather. That definitely. But the games we've seen between them that have been hard to watch before, this one, it was like it was more exciting. They just, I don't know, both teams just wanted to one-up each other on how to fuck up a set. It's probably the way to put it. Like, I lost count of how many times. I think it was like 3 errors in a row where they'd be on like tackle 4, or it'd be a surefire try. Someone was away, and then the ball would just pop out, or forward pass, or something just minute for a turnover.
The other thing that was crazy is seeing things like tackle 4 on their on the enemy try line, and then just for some reason they just can't hold the ball.
Yeah.
The fact that it was more funny because it would happen at one end
line.
At the try line.
Same next set.
The other team's got the ball. They're up on their tackle 4 up on their try line, And then they dropped the ball.
Yeah, it was identical. It was they were just taking turns taking the piss really. But Eels getting the win in that one by 6 points. I think it was 6. Or no, they ended up kicking a a field goal. I think the Tigers, didn't they?
Yeah, they got a field goal. Then the Eels put a try.
Yeah, so they said no, we'll one up you properly this time. Yeah, so Moses doing well there now. Again, probably a little bit too late again. Yeah. But they're finding maybe a way to play a bit of carefree footy or something, the Eels, and get a couple wins going into season's end there. We'll jump on to round 23 though, have a look at this week's games, and once again Thursday night we've got the Cowboys here, but not at home, down at the Gold Coast at Cbus Super Stadium. Kicking off, I think this is the first official week of Indigenous round. I know, pardon me, I know the Cowboys wore their Indigenous jersey last week, but that was more or less because this week and next week I think we're playing away. We've got the bye next week. No, we don't. I lie to you. Bye's in 2 weeks. We're playing away 2 weeks in a row.
Yep.
So they wore that jersey here, which was, I like it. I think it's quite nice. The colours are probably a bit conflicting with the Titans, so I don't know what...
That also may play into why they didn't wear it, maybe, or are they going to wear it again?
They are. They're going to wear it. I'm pretty sure they're going to wear it.
Fair play.
I believe, or unless maybe they don't wear it this week and they wear it again next week, but pretty sure they're wearing it again. But yeah, very, very nice jersey. Good colours on it. I do like that sort of aqua and the blues in it. We'll jump on and, I guess, analyse this one here. Titans... They're a hard team to tell what's going to happen now, though. They've been on a bit of a run.
I mean, honestly, I'm off them without Zane.
Yeah. This is going to be the test. I mean, for both teams, really, to see who is going to have a go toward the end of the season here, or who's going to be able to compete. But
Titans have no Zane for 3 weeks. I'm just mad off them. I just don't think Ilias will get anything done. I really don't.
Yeah,
every time I see him try and do something, he just cooks it. Tries a bit too hard and cooks it.
The one saving grace for me, I think, is now the rest of the teams finally found some sort of, I guess, working combination. Early in the season, they were still really struggling with that Verrills combo, but now having Pascoe there killing it. Pardon me, I need a bit of water, I think. I don't know, that might be a bad omen. I hope it's not. Boys better put in some effort tonight.
Preach.
Hopefully. But, they've found a bit more stability around the field outside of that 7 position. Campbell's probably found the right combination there, or the right ratio for inserting himself back into the game, as opposed to, Ilias sort of come in and, I don't know, it just didn't work. To your point exactly, he just wasn't flying, or it wasn't matching, wasn't pairing very well.
But this has happened at every single team he's been at too. Like I think the best he's looked really has been at Bunnies, I reckon.
Yeah, that when he first started, it was great. It was great.
I haven't seen anything like that since he got that nasty injury and then left the Bunnies.
Even when I think he got hooked when he had that little bit of average form, and he ended up, Demetrio hooked him, and then I think, that's when that injury
plummeted
happened.
after the injury, because he went to second grade and got that injury, so...
Yeah.
I just don't have that much faith. I think he needs to maybe try the Clifford Strat or something like that. Go overseas for a couple of years, come back and just, go bully some kids overseas for a bit and then come back.
Hone your craft a bit more, maybe.
Absolutely.
Or something. Yeah.
They're looking for halves big time over there. Just go find somewhere over there to play a bit and then come back, I reckon.
Yeah. I'll probably give him a little bit of a break there, just based on that. He may come in and he may be able to work around what they've already constructed, or what they've sort of locked in there.
Because he'd be playing 6, right?
7, I think he's named.
Was he actually? So he's named at 7. They're keeping Campbell at 6. Okay.
Yeah, but that's like we've seen. Like Campbell does do a fair bit of kicking still and whatnot, so you could see it switch a little bit, like that Trindle-Hines combination we were talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, to your point, I just don't think he impacts the game as well as Harrison did.
Big time.
But we're going to see that tonight anyway. Cowboys. What's our major changes? Really, Nanai's out.
Just
he picked
Nanai,
up that hamstring injury. Hopefully, like you said, they got a bit of rest, man, and they're ready to have a go this week. Because anything short of a decent win tonight, I think is probably still going to be warning signs, or not warning signs. It's going to be, well, now we probably start looking at next year because it's gone.
I mean, look, realistically, we kind of need to see this game 13 plus.
Yes, agreed. Yes, yep.
Since the for and against has now been like just shattered.
Oh, it's almost. I think that's probably when we're talking for and against in 4 weeks' time. I don't think, unless we're going to put an 80-point performance on, which I don't see happening.
No.
Yeah, you're right. I think that's probably we're not going to. For and against isn't going to do us any favors at any point.
That's right. I think it's more so just trying to get as much as we can to just try and, because I mean everyone that's sort of skirting that sort of 12, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9.
Yeah, they're low. They're low in the minus.
They're all
close to zero.
Yeah, they're all
closer to zero.
That's right. We just need to sort of try and weather that a bit. But yeah.
Yep.
We've got 2 weeks right now to sort of get 2 wins. If we get 2 wins and then a bye, it puts us in a bit more stead, bit of a better stead. But it's just we need to really try and lock in the bigger wins right now when it matters.
And this is, I mean, outside of last week, this is where things generally go wrong for the boys. They sort of, I don't know, clock off a little bit, or it's a bit of an easy win for them going into it. And then you have a team who's got nothing to lose and they just want to sort of compete and maybe play for a bit of pride or something.
And boy, do they.
Yeah. So I'm still picking the boys as always.
I'll be going Cows 100% this one.
Yeah, I think.
I just, without Zane, I just can't back Titans.
Yep.
It's not really against Ilias, it's more the fact that there's no Zane.
Yeah, and I think last week might have just been a little bit of a showing of a season, of what the season's been, much like, a lot of teams where it's just been a long season. They've had a valiant effort, they've had some good wins and good performances, but it's just sort of coming to a head now for the Titans, unfortunately.
Definitely.
Tomorrow's games, though, Warriors up against the Panthers over there in Auckland. This is going to be my left fielder, and I've already just had like a vision into the future. I'm going to be going, why the fuck why did I tip them? But yeah, I'll tip Waz, I reckon, in this one. May only be a narrow win, but yeah, I don't know. It just, there's something about it where they Warriors need to almost be beating the Panthers, or Panthers need to be losing a couple, and Warriors need to be winning.
Look, man, I'm with you. I've gone Waz. I've also gone Waz. Look, my thing is, I just haven't really seen the same Panthers squad that was dominating earlier in the year. I really haven't. I think the Warriors will exploit that. I think they're coming off a really strong win, as are the Panthers, don't get me wrong. But I think we'll see the Warriors be a bit more resilient going into this week, now that they've got a bit more confidence going in. So I'm actually keen to see. This will be a really good game. This is going to be like semi-final stuff already.
Yeah.
It's a preview, if you will.
Yep.
So I'm going to go the Waz. I think the Waz can get it done, and I'd obviously also rather the Waz get it done because Penrith.
Straight up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the second game on Friday there, sorry, I nearly glanced past this one because I didn't want to have to talk about the Roosters again. But
I just didn't want to see the Roosters, to be honest.
Roosters up against the Bulldogs down at Allianz Stadium there. Geez, Dogs aren't one to see. They're another one where they've gone from, all right, you could probably count on them to they're done, to now, much like the Dragons, it's like, well, they seem to be competing every week. I just don't know. The Roosters are just, again, we probably inflated a few egos and inflated their form a bit there, but they are on a bit of a run. They are just putting up a contest.
If Walker plays even a fraction of how he played against us, the Dogs are toast.
That's the big thing. I mean, coming into the end of the year, he's taking a lot of confidence. Teddy's having a revival. I know he copped that sort of injury scare or burner or whatever. They took him off at halftime last week because they didn't need him. He's playing this week though, but
absolutely they didn't need him.
They all just seem to be turning up come that run to the finals. So they're really making or staking a claim for a grand final run to the grand final there. Yeah,
I actually forgot about that Teddy thing. Imagine if Teddy was there. Oh.
100 points probably. Yeah, I'll go Roosters.
I've got Roosters, yeah.
Much as I hate to say it, I think the Roosters will get this one done again. The critter combo probably just isn't enough. Yeah, the boys all over the park for the Roosters are just, I don't know, they'll take a lot of confidence out of last week, obviously, but I don't think they're going to be too tired from last week either. Yeah, they're on a bit of a run, a generational run there. The Saturday games here, Storm versus the Sea Eagles over in Perth. That is interesting. HBF Park, Perth. What's the go with that?
I'm not too sure. Maybe just get a little bit of...
Possibly part of the Indigenous round thing there. Oh, I didn't realise they were going over there to play. But yeah, Storm against the Sea Eagles. Geez, Storm are the outsiders. I don't know whether they should be.
I've actually got Storm here.
Yeah, they're playing for a little bit of pride, or just to stem the bleeding of a horrible plane crash of a season, unfortunately.
This one is my left fielder, and the main reason being is Manly have got Manly's edges are all out. So I believe Ben Travojevic is out. I believe Kobe Hetherington is also out. They're both concussed, so
they've still one big main point. They've still got Olakau'atu there.
Yeah, they do.
Dangerous as all hell, and he is running at that weak side of the Storm. Or, I mean, both edges are a bit weak for the Storm, unfortunately, Storm fans. But that's probably the one saving grace for the Eels.
Battle for Brookie away from Brookie.
Yeah, I don't know whether it'll have that same effect.
I'm still going to go the Storm here. I want to say that the Storm can put together at least another win.
Yeah.
Again, especially against the Seagulls, who are their mortal enemy, clearly.
Yep. I feel like I've tipped the Seagulls. I can't quite remember. But, yeah, Storm, I think, definitely very possible chance to rug pull here.
If they're going to rug pull someone, this is probably going to be the one.
I'll go the Storm in this. I don't know. I'm hearing a lot about Fogarty having some underlying injuries. He's carrying a few things too. So.
And you know what? That wouldn't shock me, because honestly, the last 2 weeks, he has been...
Ever since we played him, eh?
Yeah, like he's just been pretty poor.
Right.
Pretty poor, really.
Yeah. Next Saturday game, though, Dolphins against the Broncos. Battle for Brisbane. Dolphins going into this one the favourite. Probably rightfully so. I think this is a year where they can walk in and get it done. Broncos are just... I think they've showed where they're at now. They're just too... I think they're just too
far gone.
Yeah. Good to see Duffy. I believe Duffy's in the 7 now with Reynolds out. I think he's got those concussion protocols or whatever. But yeah. I just think Dolphins are, look, they're in 5th, but they're playing to stay in the 8, lock themselves down in there. Katoa back. I don't know. I don't think Brisbane have got the cattle, unfortunately.
Yeah, no. I think you hear it often when it comes to players that are retiring, but one season too long. I'd probably say is the best example of Adam Reynolds. This season in particular, I think he's been injured more than he's played.
Yeah.
None of the injuries have been season enders, which is odd for Reynolds as well. I think the amount he has been injured or re-injured or just redone something as he's come back for a game has been just so brutal. I just think it's been a year too long.
Probably great for the young halves around the club and that there to have, but I don't know. I know they've been holding out for Pezzett to come through. That's probably all it was. If Pezzett wasn't coming next year, he may not have played this year. Who knows? Obviously, Hunt is going around one more time next year, and I think that's probably, they'll be doing the same thing, where next year will be his last year.
Yeah.
He's sort of toward the back end. He's in the twilight years, very obviously. He's not really putting up the same performances at the moment. But yeah, it's just unfortunate to see Renault's career end that way. Hopefully he can come back and they can get a couple wins for him. Send him out a winner in some form, but let him go out his own way as opposed to through injury.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dolphins for me as well.
Finns for sure.
Last Saturday game, Rabbitohs versus the Eels back at Allianz. I don't think it'll be as clear cut as a Rabbitohs domination, but they do have a lot of men back this week. Duncan's back. I think Murray might be back. Pretty sure Murray's back, actually. They got a fair few ins. So
Oh, wow.
I'm going to go the Rabbits. Yeah, they're close to full strength. They're just missing Trelly Mint, really.
It's literally just Latrell, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, man, yeah, they're going to smoke him.
Aitken out. Worth mentioning Aitken out again, but he probably would have been on the bench regardless. If in the side, he probably would have been a reserve. We've seen him lose that spot to that combination they've got going at the moment because it's a winning one at that. So, yeah, I reckon Rabbitohs for me.
Yeah, big time. That's definitely Rabbits.
Sunday's games, Raiders versus the Knights, and geez, it's at GIO in Canberra, so do the Raiders want to whiff it? The Knights do love an away win, away domination. Short odds, it's 2 cents between them.
That is crazy.
And we're talking about 6th up against 11th here. I'm going to go the Raiders, because I think I don't know, can they mathematically make... They can. I think they can make the 8 if everyone in front of them loses and they keep winning. I think they may still have one bye left too, the Raiders. Possibly. So that's going to work in their favour. Yeah, I'm going to go the Raiders because if they don't win this, then I think they're fucked.
Yeah, I've got the Knights driving the dagger in.
Yeah. Knights as well do still need to win to lock down.
It's even, and they can still get 4th.
Yeah.
They can.
Yeah, to lock down and push for 4th, yeah. So
I've got the Knights putting the dagger straight in.
Yep.
So
Arvo game.
Straight to the stake in the heart.
Bit of Sunday Arv. They love a good anytime try scorer there. Sharp probably with a double. Yeah, it's fair. Fair to say, because we've seen a great faders fall from grace many a time at home.
Definitely faders.
When they need to win.
Christ.
Final game of the round, Dragons versus Sharks. I think Dragons may give them a good push here, but yeah, look, Sharks just... They're flying at the moment. They're just too good, man. I don't think Dragons will roll over by any means, but yeah, I don't think they got what it takes to get this one done, unfortunately.
Yeah, this one here, especially with the Dragons' left edge being relatively weak defensively, Katoa for a double at least. And definitely a Sharks domination.
Yep.
If we're going to see Nico's record fall apart, it'll be in this game, purely because they will probably put on that many tries that he has to focus up for so many kicks.
Yeah, true. Yep. He's gonna have to miss something.
Yeah, that's it.
Alrighty, that's about it for round 23 there. We will move on. We'll have a look at your try of the week. There were a few good ones last week, but what did you end up going with this time around?
I mean, look, don't get me wrong. You could take your pick from that Roosters game. Let's be real. A very good portion of them were all pretty damn good. But the one that probably stands out to me the most, and maybe the one that doesn't break my heart as much as well, because it was actually kind of cool to watch, was the final try for Cody Ramsey. Not only does he deserve a try for the hell of a life he's had to overcome and endure to get to where he is, but to be that person, to still be in that support play, still chasing Sam Walker's kick in the 80th minute, Sam probably could have done it himself. He got a bit of a rough bounce, so maybe he couldn't have it. 50-50. But to still be chasing on the 80th minute, supporting your fullback, doing just some park footy stuff, that was awesome. So big ups, Cody Ramsey.
Yeah. One of the feel good stories of rugby league, and he's found himself at a team that are probably looking after him as much as he's looking after them with the effort and that.
Definitely.
Perfect player to fill in, and he's been doing that many a time this year. With that, though, we will have a look at the NRL Fantasy Buy of the Round. Getting to the pointy end. A lot of comps, head-to-head comps anyway, are getting into their finals run now, or their playoffs for the finals. So, I mean, trades at a premium. Most people maybe with 4 at best. If you got more than that, you're insane. A lot of injuries. Last-minute injuries, or probably relatively season-ending injuries in terms of there only being like 4 more weeks after this left of fantasy. But just players going down left, right, and centre. With that in mind, I think you're probably looking for someone that's a bit of value, maybe, just so you can save a bit of cash, maximise your points, but save a bit of cash if one of your big guns do, or someone integral does go down and you need to replace them with someone expensive. So I've looked at this week, putting Jacob Preston up. Jacob Preston years gone has been like a lock. You just lock him in 50 to 60 easy. He's been one of the better edges. Been a bit average this year in comparison, up and down. But after injury and possibly suspension, I think he's had a little bit of time off field anyway. He's come back, he's wound up slow since round 20 there, but produced scores of round 1939, 2045, 2171, 2274. So it's trending up in the right direction, coinciding with the Dogs finding that bit of form with their halves pairings, I think. So I reckon it'll continue. You're only paying $586K for him, and generally he's about 700 usually. So bargain on the edge there. Lock him in if you're not going to grab someone like Olakau'atu, who's right up there, I think over 800. This is probably your next best option. So Preston a bit of a lock there in the edge position. With that though, I think that's about everything for us this week. Major things around the league, Nicarima obviously signing that contract with the Dragons. Dragons on a bit of a coup at the moment. They're just, I wouldn't say poaching, but they're picking up some names. They're setting themselves up for next year, as we've seen. Dean Young locked in as their head coach for next year too, so they're starting to look toward the future, the next couple of years to build and move forward. Next one, which hasn't been confirmed though, a few rumours around. No, it's not Tommy Dearden moving to Sydney. As many times as he shuts it down, and the journos just keep reporting as if he hasn't. Classic rugby league germos. Is DCE. DCE supposedly looking to retire at the end of the season. I know he's come out this week though, and he has said, look, he hasn't made a decision and whatnot, and his family and friends will be the first to know. But a bit of talk that he may be looking to make this his last, depending, and stay on as a coach at Roosters, and that wouldn't shock me. Would not shock me. I mean, it was probably part of the talks, or part of the reason he went there in the end as well, I would think. So big decision ahead for DCE, and pretty big implications, I guess. Roosters will be fine once he does step aside. They got Savala there. Great combination there between him and Walker. We saw that last year. But
another one of those sort of players you can put really anywhere and they'll excel.
And he has been doing. He played on the edge. He's playing in centre currently. Plays 5'8", plays 7, and does well. That's about it though for Hit the Gap this week. Give us a follow on Instagram or Facebook, YouTube. Go and drop a comment if you like. Tell us what to talk about, what to stop talking about if you're overhearing it. To all 4 people who seem to be regularly listening now, thank you. And as always, thanks for tuning in.
Cheers.